High School in the history of Missouri sports. The video will share more about their accomplishments.
It is a record of unprecedented achievement in Missouri. Track and field gains only minimal media coverage as a rule, but those Jefferson City Jays have been flying high across the state. It's an eye-opening list of track and field victories, which includes 9 state championships and an astonishing 20 undefeated seasons. The Lady Jays team alone won 4 straight titles earlier in the 2000s, led by that All-Missouri bull motor Vera Neuenswander, who went on to achieve All-America honors at Indiana University.
Is an individual sport, but ultimately it's a team sport as well. And so while I of course worked on my individual goals and thought about what it was I wanted to aspire to be and what I wanted to achieve as a part of the track team, I also really was taught what it meant to be part of something bigger than myself.
The boys team won state crowns in 1978, 1993, and 2004, and together these teams have combined for 44 district championships. The Jefferson City architects of this magnificent level of victories are the now retired husband and wife team of Dennis and Roberta Bickleiter, and the track at Atkins Stadium bears their name. Even now, Jefferson City continues to roll throughout the state. They are this year's Missouri Team and Trainees in the Sports Hall of Fame, the champion track and field teams from Jefferson City High School. Congratulations.
On behalf of the entire Jefferson City J track and field program, I want to thank the Missouri Sports Hall of Fame for recognizing a truly remarkable group of athletes and coaches. I also want to congratulate the other enshrinees here this evening. Some quick introductions. Our superintendent is with us tonight, Brian Mitchell, board member Dennis Nicholson, board member and former hurdler, and he's probably up here on the podium, Doug Whitehead. Principal Tammy Ridgway, some key Booster Club members, Don and Katie Whitener, David and Lisa Gale. We have several former coaches here tonight. Kirk Obermiller, Tony Grosso, Scott Gerswinder, Jim Marshall, Toby Glavin, Dennis Vallandingham, Lisa Hoffmeyer, Gail Jones, Gary Ferguson, Deanne Fisher, Chris Lukanoff, Kent Padgett, Mark Bowman. Next, I want to introduce some extraordinary gentlemen. These are former head coaches of the program. We were going to have them stand, but since they're already standing, if you guys would just raise your hand and let them know who you are. John Griffith started in our program in 1951. He could not be here this evening as his wife is ill. Pete Atkins started in 1959, and he's also in the Hall of Fame for football. Larry York started in 1976 and is also a Missouri Track and Cross Country Coaches Association Hall of Fame. Dave Harris started in 1983 and is the current head cross country coach at the University of Nebraska. Myself, Dennis Licklider, started in 1986, and starting in 2010, Dan Ridgway is our current head coach. Few men are lucky enough to have their family be such a big part of their passion and profession as I had. Sons Ben and Ross were pole vaulters, and Ben is here today. Daughter Erin was a 4-year manager, and daughter Maggie was a 400-meter athlete, and both are here. And last but certainly not least, my wife Roberta was one of the top sprint coaches in the state for over 30 years. But this evening's not about coaches or dignitaries. It's about honoring an amazing legacy earned by a long string of athletes that represented themselves, their families, our school, and our city with class. Would all the former track and track and field athletes and managers. I asked them to please stand, but they're up here in front of you. Let's give them a hand. Throughout the years, these athletes prepared well. They worked hard and competed fairly and fiercely. They were leaders on the athletic field, in their classrooms, and throughout the school. And they have gone on to be leaders in their companies, communities, and churches. You have seen some of their accomplishments and the amazing record that they have built. But only those of us at practices and meets can really appreciate the sacrifices they have made and the integrity they have shown. Athletes, what a class act you have been, and I think tonight is well-deserved recognition of your efforts and excellence. Congratulations on your enshrinement in the Hall of Fame.
Please stay right here in front for just a moment. I want to present the plaque to Coach Licklider of Reed's Jefferson City Track and Field Program, enshrined as a member January 27, 2013, in recognition of your outstanding contributions to the sport of track and field. Congratulations to all of you. Let's give them another big round of applause. As these folks start to move off the stage, I do wish to share with you a couple of special announcements, if I might. This Wednesday, some of us will travel to Jefferson City. We'll be holding a press conference to announce that we will hold an enshrinement in Jefferson City on Sunday, April 14th. This will be our third enshrinement away from Springfield. We'll be publicly announcing the class to be inducted at that time, but I would like to share a couple of announcements related to that this evening. Coach Atkins, stop right there, Pete. Pete, stop. All of you know the legendary Coach Pete Atkins, one of the most successful football coaches in America. Coach Atkins will be named the 25th Missouri sports legend at that enshrinement ceremony. I'd also like to go ahead and make a couple of surprise announcements. We'll be inducting about 11 people, a couple of programs and 9 people that night. 2 of the individuals that we're going to be inducting are here this evening. It's my pleasure to announce today that we'll be inducting on April 14th Coach Dennis Licklider and Coach Roberta Licklider that evening as well. Congratulations. Pioneer in television sports broadcasting, Ron Jacober spent over 40 years in that field and brought us Cardinal baseball for over 20 years. Let's see what some others have to say about Ron Jacober.